Now I need to tell you what is programming. What is programming? I need to tell you what is programming. And the very best answer, what is programming? See, I cannot directly start give a problem, and I cannot explain a problem directly to you. I need to tell you what is programming, why programming, and all these things. Then only I will introduce some programs, and then I will teach you line by line. You are going to write the program. I am not going to write the program. I am only going to make you understand the problem. I am only going to draw the flow chart. You are going to write the program, and I am going to help you. Okay. All the 43 students are going to write the program today. Okay, what is this programming? While what is that? What is that? I am a layman. I don't understand what is programming. Very simple. Now, when I am talking to you, you are able to understand and you are able to respond to me. Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, very good. So when I am talking to you, I speak to you in the medium of English and you are understanding my language. So you guys are responding to me. Now, if I want something to be done, I am giving some work to my computer, or the computer will not understand what I am talking. The computer will understand only zeros and ones. That is the language that it speaks. That zeros and ones are nothing but binary language. I cannot speak 00111100. I cannot speak like that. Okay, binary language is only language that the machine will understand. As a human being, I cannot speak that binary language. So I am calling an translator. I am calling who?
Later.
I am calling
Translator.
the translator.
Translator.
Now the translator name is called as a programming language. The translator name is what?
Programming.
Programming language. So the translator could be a Java programming language. The translator could be a Python programming language. The translator could be a C programming language. The translator could be a C++ programming language. The translator could be a C# programming language, or the translator could be a Go language. So like that, we have many translators. Like that, we have many programming languages, which is helping us to take whatever the input, whatever we are giving, it will translate into machine understandable language and get the work done for us. Understanding, not understanding. I'm giving a very higher view. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
This translator name is not a good word. Okay. Translator is not a good word. So I will change the name of the translator. I will call the name of the translator as compiler. I will change the name of the translator as what?
Compiler.
Compiler, or sometimes the translator. Some programming languages will use the word compiler, and some programming languages will use the word interpreter. Okay, so translator is the one who is going to receive my commands, translate it into machine understandable language, and get the job done for me. And the translator name, in technical terms, we call it as compiler or interpreter. Now for example, Java uses both compiler and interpreter. Java uses both compiler and interpreter, but Python uses only the word interpreter. Like that, we have different languages using different translators. You are getting the pulse, you are able to understand, yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Sir.
Now programming language is nothing but it is taking my whatever the work I wanted to give to the computer. The computer cannot understand my language, so I'm using something called as programming language. The programming language has an inbuilt translator. That translator will take all my commands and all my instructions, translate that into zeros and ones, and it will get the job done for me. Clear? Yes, no?
Sir, I have a doubt.
Okay.
You said translator is nothing but compiler and interpreter, right? If that is the case, why Java going for compiler and interpreter, but Python only for the interpreter?
Okay, then I need to get into little details. How many of you know a Java program? Okay, don't worry, I'll tell you. In order to answer this question, I need to give you one simple example. Okay, let us assume that this one, whatever we are seeing here, this is a Java program. What is this one? Java program, and this Java program is having a first line, first line is having, second line is having, third line. Okay. And we are having another program by name. This is a Python program. What is this program?
Python program.
Python program. Let's assume that we have one line, second line, and third line. Now Java program. This is Java program and this is Python program. Java is using both the compiler and interpreter, and Python is using only interpreter. Why there is a change like this? Why there is a change in the translators? Why Java is using both compiler and interpreter? Why Python is only using interpreter? Let me say you. Now, this Java program, whatever we have written, we are having 1, 2, and 3. After writing the program, we are calling the translator. Hey, translator, can you come and check whether the grammar, whatever I have written, is it correct or not? Immediately, the compiler will come, the translator from the Java will come, and he will check all the grammar, whatever you have written, is according to the Java language or not. If there is any issue, he will say that I cannot work, I cannot run I cannot compile your Java program because there is an error in the third line. Sorry, there is an error in a second line. Okay, it will say that it will abruptly stop and say that it will say that I cannot compile your Java program because there is error or a syntax or grammar mistake in the second line. Can you correct the second line? Otherwise, I will not execute. Clear? So you need to understand that there are in translation. First thing you need to understand is in translation, you have two processes. First is called as compilation. Translation is made up of how many processes?
Two processes.
Two processes. Translation is made up of two processes. Let me show that to you. Wait, I will pull it on top. Okay, translation is made up of two processes. One is compilation, another is execution. Another is what?
Execution.
Execution. Translation means compilation plus execution. Now let me write the translation means compilation plus execution. Now you might ask me, what is this compilation, Karthik? Compilation means checking the grammar. Compilation means what?
Checking the grammar.
Checking the grammar, or in other words, we will call that as we are doing a syntax check, whether we are writing it in the correct format or not. If there are some formats that we need to follow, so we are going to check whether we are writing it in the right format or not. So execution meaning here. So translation meaning translation is made up of compilation and execution. Compilation is nothing but checking the grammar, whether checking the grammar, or in other words, I can call that as syntax checking. So I am going to check whether everything is written as per the standards of Java format or not. That comes under compilation. After the compilation is done only, the execution will happen. Execution will happen meaning here the whatever the command I have given, as a programmer, will be executed. Command as programmer will be executed. You are following how it is happening. First thing, whatever the command I'm giving as a programmer will be verified whether my grammar and syntax and spelling is correct or not. Only then, if it is correct, execution will happen. Clear with this part, this translation process you are able to understand, or shall I explain it once again?
Yes, sir, got it.
Everybody?
Yes, got it.
Understood, sir.
Understood, sir.
Okay, now this Java program, what it is doing, this Java program, whatever we have written, if at all there is any error in the second line, it will stop the compilation. It will never go to execution at all. First thing you need to remember, Java translator, what it will do, it will go to all the lines, check whether all the lines are having correct syntax first. If there is a syntax error, it will throw an error message and it will stop the program. But Python is not like that. Python is executing the program. Python is compiling and executing the program line after line. First line it will take in the Python program. It will check whether the grammar is correct or not. That is the compilation it will do. And once the compilation is successful, then it will immediately execute the first line. And then it will go to the second line, check whether the grammar is correct or not. Compilation is good. Then it will immediately execute the second line. So compilation and execution happens line by line in Python program. But in Java program, compilation and execution is not happening line by line. First, all the code lines, whatever I've written, compilation will be done. If there is any one error, it will throw an error and it will stop then and there itself. By that, compilation is also not fully completed. The execution also is not at all started. But when we come to Python program, the translator or the interpreter will try to compile the first line. It will check whether the grammar is correct or not, and immediately it will try to execute the first line. And if there is any error in the second line, you can clearly understand first line is already compiled and executed, but there is error in second line, so it is abruptly stopped. But here in Java program, both the compilation is also half done and execution is not at all completed. But in Python, compilation and execution is completed before the error line. You are able to understand? That is why interpreter is used for Python program, and Java is using compiler and interpreter in Java. Clear?
Yes.
Yes.
Clear,
Everybody.
sir.
How many of you know what is that? Whatever I explained now is the difference between compiler and interpreter. How many of you know this one? Or you are hearing it for the first time?
First time,
First
sir.
time, sir.
It's a first time.
First time, sir.
First time.
Okay,
First
this is how you need to learn programming. Okay. Okay. Now getting back to the topic. Getting back to the topic, what we are going to discuss is what is programming. So programming is nothing but we are using a translator. Using the translator, we are giving some commands, and the translator will convert my commands to a machine understandable language and give me an output. Clear? Then I can go to the next diagram. Okay. Okay. The next thing what I'm going to share here is, this is very, very important. How to solve a program. Okay, how to solve a program. This is a very important part that I want to give you. So let me give you a real-time example, and then I'm going to write down the points there. Okay, what is the pointer here? How to solve a program. Now, if you want to understand how to solve a program, first thing is that let me give you a real-time question. Yes, real-time question. Can I give you a real-time question?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now what I will do here is I am taking you all to book my show. Okay, I'm taking to a website where I'm taking you to a movie. Okay, so here in this movie, let's go to this thank you movie. Say it is on 83%. It is there. It's a good movie, I believe. So let us go and book some ticket in some of the good theaters. So let's go to some good PVR or something like that. So Inox we will go. So let's go to Inox or let's go to something which is at late night. Okay, Garuda Mall, something. Now, when I'm going to the theater, it is asking how many seats I wanted. So when it is clearly asking how many people are coming. So if I'm saying that if I wanted only 2 people, how many people we are going?
2 people.
Only 2 people. So that means it has to create a data, or it has to create a seat for 2 people. Yes or no? It has to block seats for 2 people. So I'm going and selecting 2 seats. Now I wanted 2 seats at the back of the theater. So I'm going to click here. I'm clicking only on one item. Click here. When I'm clicking here, 2 items are getting selected. Because I selected 2 seats, 2 seats, immediately the next seat is getting selected. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
now I really changed my mind. I don't want to sit in the very last corner. I want to move somewhere here. Now I am there in 15 and 16. I don't want to use this 15 and 16. I want to use this 7 and 8. So whatever is the data that is present in 15 and 16, when I click on 7, that data will be swapped to 7 and 8. You are able to understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now what I'm trying to do, I still don't want to use the 7 and 8 seat. I wanted to use something called as 10 and 11. So whoever is sitting in 7 and 8, I wanted that ticket to be moved to 10 and 11. I am swapping from 7 and 8 to 10 and 11. Immediately 10 and 11 is getting selected. Now I don't want 10 and 11. I want to go to 17 and 18. So when I'm going on clicking on 17 and 18, this 10 and 11 seats is swapped to 17 and 18. You are able to understand what we are trying to do? Yes,
Sir.
no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes.
the program, what they are asking you to solve is, they are asking you here is how to swap two numbers, how to swap two numbers, they are asking. Now, why they are asking you this question? First of all, the first thing you need to understand is how to swap two numbers. When they are asking you this question, they are internally checking, how they are checking your, let me write it. Okay. When they are asking you how to swap two numbers, they are actually testing your, how to store numbers. They are testing your knowledge. They are just testing how do you store the number? How do you store the number? They are testing your skills. That is what they are testing. And how to store the number? They are testing your skills. And later they are also testing that how, without loss of data, without losing the data, how you are easily trying to swap the numbers. So now the main point is that you need to store the number correctly, and they are also seeing you how you are not losing the data. How careful are you? How careful are you in not losing the data? So these things they wanted to test. That is why they are asking you this question. Can we see how do we solve this one? Yes or no? Yes. Okay,
Yes.
whenever you are getting a problem, you need to draw a diagram and then try to implement it. Okay, now swap two numbers. So let us say that in order to hold a number in programming, in order to store a number in programming, I cannot store it directly. I need to create one bucket. And let me call that bucket. Let me call this as a bucket. Okay, this is called as a bucket, and this bucket name I need to give. I'm calling this as bucket one. So this bucket one, inside of, I am creating a bucket. So this bucket can also be called as a placeholder. This bucket can also be called as what?
Placeholder.
Placeholder, or something which can hold, or in technical terms, I can also call this as a variable. So this variable is there, bucket one is there, placeholder is there, variable is there. So let me give the variable name as A. This variable name is, or this bucket name is called as A. Bucket name is called as A. So let me write it. The bucket name is A. I am writing. Now inside the bucket, I am going to store some value. So I'm going to store a value 10. Now let us assume that we have another bucket. And this bucket can also be called as a placeholder, and the bucket can also be called as a variable. And this variable, or this bucket, or this placeholder name, let me give this as a B. Let me give this as what? B. And inside this B container, inside this B variable, inside this B placeholder, I am trying to store the value 20. I am trying to store the value what? 20. Now, you cannot change the name of the bucket. You cannot change the name of the variable. Only thing is that you have to shift. Shift meaning the 10 which is there in the A bucket should be moved to the B bucket. And the B bucket, whatever the 20 is having, should be moved to the A bucket. Clear? Understanding, not understanding?
Understand, sir.
Yes.
Okay, even if you don't know how to solve a program, okay, try to explain what did you understand like this to your interviewer. Sir, you say that I will try to solve a program. Okay, you say that you can try, I will try to solve a program and try to explain like this to your interviewer. They will find that this is how you are trying to visualize, this is how you're trying to solve a program, and they will feel happy because this is one of the software engineers quality. Not many people have this quality. They are directly going whatever they have mucked up, they are trying to write it here, and that is not a good approach. Clear? Do you agree with me?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so even if you don't know the program, how to solve it, start with this approach. Definitely you will get some hints, then you can go ahead and try to solve it. Now we are having A variable, which is A container having 10, and we are having B container, which is having 20. I need to swap the numbers. Now, can I bring in one solution? One solution I will bring in. What is the solution, Karthik? Now I will introduce one third container. Okay. Let me call this container name as a container name, or let me call this as a variable C. Agreed? Yes or no?
Agree.
Yes, sir.
Variable C, or I will call whatever, let me say this as a temp variable, or I will call this as a variable by name, a temporary, because I don't want this container for a long time. After the data is exchanged, I can delete this container or this placeholder or this bucket. Okay. Now what I'm trying to do here, I am trying to take the value. I am trying to take the value of a B. I am trying to take the value of B and trying to store it in the variable C. I am trying to take the value. I'm trying to take the value what?
B.
I'm
20.
trying to take the value 20 and I'm storing it into the variable C. Now the bucket becomes empty, B bucket becomes empty, yes or no?
Yes, it's empty.
Once the bucket is empty, I am pushing the value, whatever I have in my A bucket, to my B bucket. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Once the bucket is empty, I am trying to push the value, whatever is there in my A container, to B bucket. Agreed? Not agreed?
Yes.
Yes or no?
Yes, agree. Yes, sir.
And now after pushing the value in this bucket will be empty. Since it is empty, so I will push this variable, whatever the temp in the variable C, whatever I'm having, that is the 20, I will push it back to A container. If I'm not doing anything, I have two containers. In the two containers, I wanted to exchange the data. So whatever is the data present here, I'm pushing it to variable C. After pushing it, this container becomes empty. So I'm pushing the data from A container to the B container, and the B container is having the data of A container. Now A becomes empty. So since it is empty, I'm pushing the B value back to the A container only. Did you understand this diagram? Then only I can show it in programming. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes
Is that
or no?
possible to create an empty variable?
Pardon?
Is that possible to create an empty variable?
Yes, we can create an empty variable. I'll show you how to create everything. I'll show you. See, at the end of the day, we want to solve a program. So we want to solve a problem. So we can do however we want it. Different approaches we can take it. Clear? Can I go and implement this one?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, now I am not going to do anything. You are going to work. Since Python is the simplest language to solve all these problems, I am using Python to solve it. Okay. So this particular editor, whatever you are seeing, is called as PyCharm. Here in PyCharm, I am trying to solve my Python problem. Whatever program I want to write, I can use this PyCharm editor and I can try to solve it. So I'm right clicking on this Python program, this folder, and say that I want to create one file by name Python file. And then I'll give a name to this file called as swap numbers. I'm giving a name to this called as swap numbers and hitting enter. So a Python file is created, and this is an editor for me, where this particular PyCharm is a tool or an application where it is having all the Python interpreter installed in it, and I have an editor here that I can write the code here. When I'm right clicking and running it, the interpreter will come to and it will execute my code. It will try to compile and it will try to execute and give me the output. Every environment is present here. That is why I call this as a integrated development environment. PyCharm is is an integrated development environment. So let me go ahead and solve the problem. A, I am creating a variable. First bucket name is what?
Variable A.
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 So what is the value present in A?
Again.
10.
10.
We are creating another bucket and the value
B.
present there is how much?
20.
20.
Okay, now let me write one print statement. Before swapping, what is the value? After swapping, what is the value? Okay, now I am going to use something called as comments. Comments meaning this line of code will not be executed by the Python interpreter, but it will give some meaningful information for the end user who is reading or viewing our code. So I'm using something called as comment, meaning this line will not be executed by the Python interpreter. Okay, now I'm writing here. I'm writing before swapping. I'm writing before swapping. Before swapping, I'm writing. So in order to write something, in order to print something on the output, we have one function or we have one inbuilt keyword. Okay. In order to print something on the console, in order to print something on the output, we have an inbuilt keyword. That is keyword has been given by Python itself, and the keyword name is called as print. Okay. If you want to print something on the output, you need to use a keyword what?
Print.
Print. Now I'm using the print. I wanted everything, whatever I want to print, I wanted to print it inside. I want to put everything into the simple brackets. So I'm using this is a format of the print statement. So you cannot write print directly. You cannot write it like this. Whatever you want to write it inside the print, you want to print it, you need to write it inside the simple brackets. Okay, that's the way of writing. Now, when I'm trying to print some value, I wanted to print not only A value and B value, I want to print some meaningful information also. So whatever the string that you want to see along with the output, you want to see some meaningful information, I will write that meaningful information in single quotes or in double quotes. Okay, whichever you are comfortable with, you can write it. So value of num1, value of num1 before swapping, value of num1 before swapping. Okay, before swapping I'm writing, and then you want to print the one. Yes or no? You want to print the value before swapping. Yes or no? Where
Yes,
in which variable that bucket it is present? The 10
Yeah.
where in which bucket it is present?
Yeah.
A. So I will write the A as A only. Now you need to remember, you need to give a comma after this one. If you don't give a comma, it will give an error. That means this is one argument, this is one value, and this is a second value. You are telling it to the print keyword or print function. Clear? Yes, no?
Clear, sir.
Okay, now I'm going to use another print statement, and then I'm saying that value of num2 before swapping. I am writing before swapping, and then I will write the answer. I will write the value as B only. Clear?
Clear.
Okay, now can I execute? See, I'm not swapped it, but just I want to see what is the value present in A and what is the value present in B. Can I execute it?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So the value of num1 before swapping is 10. Whatever is the value that I have given in A, I'm just bringing that. I'm not calling the value. I'm just bringing the bucket. So the bucket, whatever is the value present inside the bucket is getting printed here. Could you see that? Yes,
Yes,
or
sir.
no?
Yes, sir.
Now what I will try to do is I'm going to build a logic to swap two numbers. So I'm going to build a logic. Now you need to understand, look into this diagram and you are going to help me to write the code. I am not going to write the code for you. Okay. Now what did we do here? Whatever is the value present in B, I have sent it to. Can
C.
everybody say whatever is the value present in B, I have sent it to which one?
C, sir.
C. Variable C.
So what I'm trying to do, value of B, I'm assigning it to C Yeah. Now C container, are we created or it is not created?
Not created.
Not great.
We need to
Not
declare.
created. It is not created. Now let us see, even without creating also, with whether Python is giving some issues or not. Okay. Now, whatever is the value present in B, looking into the diagram, I am sending it to which container?
Temple C.
Empty.
C container, C variable. Now, whatever, now B becomes empty. So I need to push the value of A to B. Okay. I need to push the value of A to B. So whatever is the value present in A, push it to B, So whatever is the value, see, you need to read it like that. A value is getting pushed to B, and here B value is getting pushed to C. So now looking into the diagram, B value is pushed to C. This is the 8th line. If you can see, B value is pushed to C, and the C, since B is empty now, the A value I am pushing it to B, so that A is equal to B I am writing. Now again, what I need to do is, since B is having any value or not having any value? It is not having any value. I need to push the A value back to the B only. So what I need to do now? I need to push
A value to B.
See here now, this B value I pushed to C, and now this A value I pushed to B, and we have missed something. First thing is that we have missed this. Whatever is the B value to C, we have pushed it. B to C I have written. B to C I have written here. B to C I have written. Yes. C to A I didn't write.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I need to write C to A. So C value, I wanted to push it to the A value. I will show you line after line so that you will understand it more in detail. Look into this diagram. From B, I am pushing it to C. B to C, it is there. And from C, I am pushing it to A. C to A, it is there. And from A, I am pushing it to B. A to B, it is there. Okay. Can I after swapping, can I print the output? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. Now I will write a value of num1 after swapping, then I'll give the A value, and then I'm going to give a value. I hear some background noise. Can everybody go on mute, please? Value of num2 after swapping, after swapping, and then I will write the value B here. Now, what is actually happening? You can clearly listen here. The B value is pushed to C. That is what I'm writing here. B value is pushed to C container. Okay, and the C container, whatever are values present, I'm pushing to A container. C container, I am pushing it to A container. And next thing, whatever is present in A, I'm pushing it to B. So A, I'm pushing it to B. Right now, if I'm doing that one, values are getting interchanged, and from A, which was having initially 10, will have 20, and B, which was initially having 20, will have 10. Let's execute it and see that. Okay, we have done a mistake. Value of num1 and num2 is giving wrong. Let's
Sir,
look into
sir, the statement A is equal to C should come down, sir.
Okay, first thing. Yeah. From B, we are pushing it to C. From B, we are pushing it to C. And from C, we are pushing it to A. From
No, that time A
we
is
have
not
to push it
empty.
to B.
Before.
No.
Wait.
We are making empty B first.
C will be equal to A, I believe.
Yeah, first B equal to A.
A equal to B, and then A equal B
No,
equal to A.
wait. I'll solve it. Wait. B value, whatever is present, is pushed to C. Okay, so
now B is empty, so you can move A to B.
Yes, B is empty. So we need to push whatever is the B value in the B container. I need to push the A value. Okay.
P equal to
Then comes, so
A equal
here
to C.
now A
Equal to
container
C.
will be empty. So A value, whatever is present in C value has to be pushed to A. Okay.
Yes. Okay.
Now I'm going to re-explain it once again. Okay, now what happens is, don't follow, you have to follow like this. B value, I'm pushing it to C. B value, I'm pushing it to C. Later, what I'm doing, B is empty. Since B is empty, I'm pushing the value of A to B. So I'm pushing the value of A to B here. And A becomes empty. Since A is becoming empty, I'm pushing the value of C to there. By this, I'm able to swap two numbers successfully by using a temporary variable. Clear?
Sir,
Yes or no?
sir, I have a doubt. So
Yeah.
if I include a statement after this eighth line, like print C and print B, so what will be the value of B and C, sir? Because the B value will not become empty, no, sir. So in B also we'll have 20, right?
You want to
Print,
enter the statement, what you want to write here?
print B,
Print B. Okay.
and the next line print C.
Next line print C
No,
here.
no, no, sir. Next after
No, no. Next to B.
Here.
no, no, sir. Just
No, no.
just
Next to
after
Tell me the line number.
After.
Line number.
in 10th line.
Or before 10th line.
Yeah.
Now I'll tell you. Before this only I will tell you. Now when you are executing this, B value, you are trying to push it to C. So after that, what is there in the B container or in the B variable you wanted to see. When you are executing it, you are seeing both B and C is having 20. Whatever is the previous value, that means it will not get empty, meaning the value will still be there, but the copy of that will be present in two containers. You are following?
Yes, sir. Yes. Okay, sir.
So the copy will be there. I am not deleting it. I am saying that I am creating another copy. With that existing copy, I am trying to delete it. I am trying to create another one. Okay. Now in this case, we have hard coded the numbers 10 and 20. This is not the right way of doing it. We have to get in some numbers at runtime and then we have to execute it and see what is the value. Okay, we are hard coding the value. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay, instead of hard coding it, is there a way to do that? Very simple way. Instead of hard coding the value, I can use something called as a input statement in Python. I'm using something called as input statement in Python. And then in using this input statement, I will give that this input statement will immediately ask for an input from the end user. So it is asking for an input from the end user. What is the message it should give? It should give that enter A value, it should ask. And whatever the customer entering or the user entering the A value, it has to be stored in a container. It has to be stored in a variable by name as A only. It has to be stored in a container or in a variable by name A only. Next input I'm asking, it will immediately stop the program. It will ask the end user to enter a value. So I'm using enter B value, enter B value. So the moment when you are entering B value, the user is giving some value. It has to store it in a container. So it is getting stored in a B variable or a B container. Like this, when I'm writing the code, it will not take the hard-coded values. Rather, it will ask me to enter the value here. So I can give the value 10 and enter. If I'm going, it is going to the next statement. If I'm going the value B, it is taken A and B values. Value of num1 and num2 before swapping, value of num1 and num2 after swapping, it is giving. So you don't need to use hard-coded values. Runtime also, you can take these values. Clear? Not clear?
Clear, sir.
Clear? Yes?
Yes, sir.
No.
Yes, sir, it's clear.
Okay, now what did we do here in order to solve this program? If I am not using this diagram, directly I'm writing like this, will you be able to understand or not understand?
Not understand.
Not understand. So this is very, very important. In order to solve a program, the first thing is that you need to visualize the program, you need to visualize the problem and try to represent it in a diagrammatic view. Later, you will be able to solve it. How many people didn't understand? I will explain it once again. I want people who didn't understand. Anybody? Don't feel bad if you're not understanding it. You know, it is.
Sir, tell me once again.
Yeah. You want me to tell it once again?
Yes, sir.
Okay, anybody else? Nobody? Huh?
Karthik Sindhya is right.
Yes.
Can you hear me? Is there any different approach to solve this?
Yeah, there are different approaches to solve it, but I wanted to keep it as a simple approach. There are different approaches. We can do different ways, but I wanted to keep it with very simple. There are some people who don't know this approach itself very clearly. So I didn't go to the second approach.
Okay.
But there are different approaches to solve a problem, not only this one. Okay, I'm going to explain it. See, very quickly, I'm going to explain. You are having two numbers. You are creating a placeholder or a bucket or a variable. This is A bucket. This is B bucket. In the A bucket, you're having 10. In the B bucket, you're having 20. You need to shift the values. You need to swap the values. Now, at present, it is 10 and it is 20. Later, after your programming is executed, A should have 20 and B should have 10. How do we achieve that one? So I am creating one more container, one more placeholder, one more variable. I am pushing the value of B to my C container. Now when I'm pushed here, B container is also having 20 and C container is also having 20. Even if I'm losing this value, no problem. So I assume that this B container becomes empty and I'm pushing the value of A to it. Once the A is pushed to it, A becomes empty. That means A is also having 10 value and B is also having 10 value. So even if I override one container also, no problem. So whatever is the 20 that is present here, I'm pushing it here to my A container. So now A is having 20 and B is having 10. And that only I have solved it here. B container value is pushed to C, and now since B is empty, B I am pushing it to C. After pushing the value of B to C, B becomes empty. So I am filling the B container with A value. And once I am pushing the A value to B container, A container becomes empty. Since A container has become empty, I am using the last third variable to be pushed back to the A container only. Clear? Yes, no?
Clear, sir. Clear.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay, the next most widely asked interview question was, this question was asked to me when I was a fresher, how to find a prime number. What is the next question they asked me?
Prime number.
How to check a number, how to check a number is prime or not. This interview question was asked by Nokia Siemens. Who asked me this one?
Nokia Siemens.
It's a very good product-based company, and their salary for a fresher was somewhere around 6 lakhs. And I was not able to solve this prime, whether to check the number is prime or not, because I didn't understand the programming concept. Okay, what I did was I was mugging up something and tried to write it, and I was not able to solve it. Okay, now when you first of all you need to understand what is this program, what is this particular prime number or not, how to check whether it is prime number or not. Okay, these are the conditions you need to, whatever the conditions I'm giving now, these conditions you need to make sure using this condition only you need to solve your program. Okay, for people who don't know what is prime number, I'm going to explain. Prime number, we don't know what is prime number, but remember prime number should be always be greater than 1. What is the first criteria?
Should be greater than 1.
Prime number should always be greater than 1. Should always be greater than 1. Clear? That's the first criteria. You take any number. If you want to call that as a prime number, first thing is what? It should be.
It is greater than 1.
It should be greater than 1. And the next important thing here is, if you want to check whether that any number is a prime or not, you have to have this condition. What is the condition? Say for example, I'm having this number 28. I'm having this number 28. What is this number here?
28.
28. This 28 can be divided by 2. 2 14s are 28. Can it be divided by 2?
Yes.
Okay. This 28 can also be divided by 7. 7 4s are 28. Agreed?
4 also.
Yes, sir.
And this 28 can also be divided by 14. 14 into 2, 28.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
And this 28 into 20, 28 into 1 is also 28.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So any number, whatever these are called as, these numbers are called as factors. Okay, 28 is a number and 28 can be divided by 2, 7, 14 and 28 itself. So all these numbers are becoming factors of 28. Agreed, not agreed?
Agreed.
Agreed.
Agreed?
Yes.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
now these factors for 28 are 1, 2, 3, 4. So prime number, if you want to find a prime number, if you want to tell a prime number, the prime number is clearly saying you cannot have more than 2 factors. You can have only 2 factors only, meaning the number should be divided only by 1 or by 19. If I say 19, if I'm asking you 19 is a prime number or not, 19 can be divided by any other number. 19 can only be divided by 1 and 19 itself.
Yes.
It cannot be divided by any other number. Yes or no?
Yes.
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 So 19
Yes, yes.
becomes a prime number. Clear? Yes, no?
Clear, clear.
Okay, so let me write that one also. And that number should have 2 factors only. 2 factors only. So what are the 2 factors also we need to verify? That should be divided by itself. If I'm saying 19 number should be divided by 19 also and 1 also. So that should be divided by itself and by number 1 only. So it should not have any other factors or any other divider to it. Clear? Yes,
Yes,
or
sir.
no?
Clear.
Yes.
Now I
Clear.
am using something called as 19 here. So 19 can be divided by 1 and 19. So in that case, I will call this as 19 prime number. 19 is a prime number. Clear? Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
And the next thing, let me take another example. If I'm taking 28 as an example, 28 can be divided by 1, 28 can be divided by 2, that means 2 14s are 28, and 7 also it can be divided, 7 4s are 28, and then 14 into 2 is 28, and 28 ones are also 28. How many factors are there here?
4 factors.
4 factors. It is 5.
Actually-
1, 2, 3,
So
4,
4
5
also.
is there. So not
4
a
also
prime.
coming,
4
sir.
also, sir. 4 also, it's there.
Pardon?
4 also
Two
coming,
plus
sir.
4
7,
also is there. 4 also is there. 4 also is there. So 4 into 7s are also 28. So that is also giving so many factors are there for a number. Then that becomes not a prime number. You should have only factor 1 and 19 itself. Then only it becomes a prime number. Clear? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, the next thing, as I told you, the sample number should be greater than 1. You cannot check whatever the number you are going to check whether the number is prime or not, right? So you need to be in a position that sample number, whatever we are giving, it should not be 1. It should be greater than 1, because 1 is also a prime number, because 1 can be divided by 1 and by 1 itself. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So the sample
Yes, sir.
number, whatever we are giving, should be greater than 1. Okay. And the next thing you need to remember, and that number should have only how many factors?
2 factors.
Only 2 factors.
2 factors.
Okay. And if the number is having more than 2 factors, okay, prime number, let me write it. Prime number should have only two factors. Any number greater than 2 factors, any number greater than 2 factors is not a prime number. Clear? Yes,
sir. Yes, sir.
and also you need to say that if the factors are exactly 2 also, it is not a prime number. So you cannot compare, you cannot say that. See, for example, if I'm checking 2 2 can be divided by 2 also and 1 also. It is having 2 factors. Now 2 is a prime number. If you check, 2 is not a prime number. Why? Because the factors whatever you are having should be within 2. But the number itself is within 2, right? You're agreeing, you're not agreeing? The factors I am saying here you see prime number should have how many factors?
Only two factors.
Only 2 factors. But if I'm taking the number 2 itself, number 2 as a sample value, I'm testing whether 2 is a prime number or not. 2 can have only 2 factors because it can have either 1 or 2 only. It cannot have anything more. So I have to put a strong segment that if the factors are exactly 2, then it is a prime number. Okay. If it is only 2 also, it is a prime number. I cannot compare 1 as a prime number, but if I'm having factors exactly 2 also, it is a prime number. I can write it. Okay. Also, if the factors are exactly 2 or
Karthik?
Yes.
2 is a prime number, right?
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Also, if the factors are exactly 2, then it's a prime number. Factors, anytime if we are having 2 factors, then it is a prime number. Clear?
Yes.
Okay. This program, this condition, instead of understanding like this, if you directly go to the program and solve it, you will not be able to solve it. Clear? Keeping all these points, we are going to solve the program. This conditions, did you understand or didn't understand?
Understood.
Everybody
Understood.
understood? So I am
Yes,
not
sir.
going to write the program. You are going to write the program based on this condition. You are going to write it. Trust me, you are going to do it. So let me create a file. Okay, let me call this file as a prime numbers. Prime numbers. I am writing prime numbers. We have created a file. Now the first thing, we need to collect the input from the end user, because whatever the number they are giving, we need to check whether that is prime number or not. Okay, first thing, what we need to do? We need to collect the input from the end user. Yes or no, my friends?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now what we need to do here is that we are going to use something called as input statement. We are going to use something called as what?
Input
Statement to collect the input from the end user, and I need to display some meaningful information to the end user. So I'm writing enter the number. I'm writing enter the number. I'm writing. Now sometimes whatever the end user is entering, I need to store it in a container. I need to store it in a variable. I need to store it in a placeholder. So the placeholder name is called as num. The placeholder name is called as what?
Num.
Now, when you are executing this code, let me write it. When you are executing this code, okay? When you are executing this code, it is asking you to enter some value. Now you are entering some value. Now, when you are entering the value here, you are giving 10. When you're entering the value, 10 is taken, but sometimes when people are entering some non-integral values, they are not entering values, but they are entering something different. Somebody said something? Okay, can I continue?
Yes.
Okay. So whether some people might enter 10 like this, directly they are entering 10 like this. Okay, 10 like this, it is taken as number 10 only. Some people, when they are entering 10, they will be super confident. What they will do, they will write it in single quotes or in double quotes. 10, they will write it like this. If you are writing anything in Python or in most of the programming languages in double quotes or single quotes, that even though you are entering an integral value or a number value, if you are writing inside a double quotes or single quotes, that will become as a string. It will not take that as a number. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So in order to avoid all these confusions, whether they are giving in single quotes or double quotes or whatever it is, I will consider that I will turn that into one integer only. So I'm using one integer keyword. So even though I'm entering this in single quotes or double quotes, it will turn that into, it will throw away all the single quotes and double quotes. It will take only the integer value. Clear? Yes, no?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now what we have to do here is look into the code here. Let me copy this particular things into our notepad so that it will be helpful for us to quickly refer and solve this program. Okay. I'm writing all my conditions here, going to notepad here. Now the first thing is that we have captured the input and we are keeping it. Now the next thing what we need to do here is the next important thing and the core important thing here, we have to create a variable in such way we are calculating the factors. If it is only 2 times the count, then it is a prime number. If it is more than 2 factors, it is not a prime number. Clear? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
So I need to create one flag. I need to create one variable to keep up my count. So I create one variable by name count equal to 0. I am doing count equal to 0. Right now it is 0. We don't know later whether it will get incremented or decremented. We will see it later. But this count is used to count what? How many factors this particular any number it is going to hold. Yes or no? Yes. Hello. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes.
And the next thing, you also need to check whatever is the number you are getting. A prime number should always be greater than
1.
1. That you need to translate. So assume that the prime number, whatever the sample number, whatever they are giving, that is stored in a variable by name what? That is stored in a container or in a variable named what here?
Num.
So I am going to check that if a num is greater than 1 only, you should do all these process. If number is lesser than 1, don't even do anything. Straight away say that it cannot be a prime number. Clear? That is the first check I have converted. This entire line, prime number should always be a greater than 1. I have simply represented like this. This num is nothing but we assume that this is a sample prime number. If a number is greater than 1 only, do all the operations. Otherwise, don't do. Clear? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Now what I'm trying to do, I wanted to, let me say that I want to check whether the number 19 is a prime number or not. Yes. So what internally we are doing, it will start the count from 1. Okay. It will start the count from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. 8, 9. Okay. 8, 9. 9 and then 10 and then 11 and then 12 and then 13 and then 14 and then 15 and then 16 and then 17 and then 18 and then last 19. So until this number, all these numbers I am going to divide one by one. 19 ones are 19. Yes, it is true or not. It is only dividing by 19. 19 to 19 divided by 2. Can I divide it or can I not divide it? So 19 divided by 2 completely getting divided or not getting divided?
Not
Getting divided. If I divide it, what will I get it?
it will be in
Floating point.
Okay, use the calculator. If I'm dividing 19 divided by 2, if I'm dividing it, I am getting what is the value here?
9.5.
9.5. This 9.5, whatever I'm writing, it is not the remainder. It is the quotient I'm getting. Yes or no?
Yes.
How many of you know what is the divider, divisor, and the quotient and remainder? Basic UKG mathematics. You remember or you don't know? Some people even don't know that one. 19 divided by 2. This 19 is called as a divider. Correct? 19 is called what? Divider. I'm feeling ashamed of teaching all this basic mathematics. You need to be good, okay? But some people don't know I'm doing it. That 2 is called as a divisor. Okay. And the answer, whatever we are getting, that is called as what? Quotient. Okay. And the remainder, that 19 divided by 2, After that, there will be some reminder. That reminder is called as reminder only. I don't have any other ways. Okay, reminder is left out. That reminder we need to say. Now, how we are finding out whether this number is completely divided by 19 or not? If at all we are having reminder 0, that means the number is completely divided. If I am having any number apart from 0, any other number I am having, that means the number is not completely divided. Do you agree? Do you don't agree?
Agree.
Yes,
Yes
agreed.
or no?
Yes, sir.
So
Yes, sir.
I should be in a position that I need to represent, if I'm taking 19 as a prime number to be checked, I need to check from 1 all the way to 19 I need, and I need to divide and check whether the remainder is 0 or not. Clear? Understanding, not understanding?
Yes.
Understood.
Okay, now I need to represent 1 to 19 numbers, and then this 1 to 19, 19 is an example I'm giving. So if I'm writing 1 to 19, from 1 to 19, all the numbers should come and get it divided and check whether the remainder is 0 or not. If it is getting divided, if the remainder is 0, then I need to increase the count. Okay, can I first represent this 1 to 19 number? Agree, not agree?
Agree.
So I cannot create so many placeholders, and I cannot create like that. I will write something called as for loop. For I in range, I'm writing, and I wanted numbers from where to where? I wanted numbers from 1 to 19. I wanted 1 to 19. So I'm going to create one for loop, where that for loop will generate numbers for me from where to where I'm going to define. I wanted to generate numbers for I in range. For I in range meaning I'm going to create numbers from 1 all the way up to num plus 1. Num plus 1 meaning let me take even 20 also and check it. Okay. From 1 to 19, I want to check. See here, this 1 to 19 numbers I want to check. This 1 to 19 num value, whatever I'm trying to store it, it will be in 119 only. But why am I using plus 1 here? Because all these numbers are starting from 0. Basically, the numbers are starting from internally. The for loop begins from 0. So we are having it, we are representing here as a num plus 1. That the discussion we will get into later. But understand that we are creating numbers from 1 to 19. Clear? Agree, not agree?
Agree.
Yes, sir. Agreed.
After creating this for loop 1 to 19, I want to check whether this remainder is 0 or not. If the remainder is 0, that means the number is completely divided. Now, if the remainder is 0, I need to increase the count. Clear? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so what I will do, I am trying to use an if condition. So 19 is getting divided by 1, 19 is getting divided by 2, 19 is getting divided by 3, 19 is getting divided by 4. Like that, I am going to do an operation here. When I'm doing that operation, if this particular number remainder is 0, I have to check. So what I will try to do, if num is nothing but 19 is completely divided, then if it is completely divided, then the value will be 0. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So this remainder part in programming, we are using this kind of operator. The remainder part, how am I using? The percentage symbol is referencing what?
Remainder. It's
The percentage symbol is referencing the remainder. So what I'm trying to do here is, I'm going to check, look at to this particular line and look into the what I'm trying to say. 19, it is checking whether 19 is having the remainder with 1, 2, 3. This I value is nothing but the value that is present from 1 to 19. So what I'm trying to write here, if there is a reminder, I have to check it from the 19. Num is 19 and the percentage symbol is nothing but reminder. I'm going to check, and I value is nothing but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 12, 13, up to 19, it is going to check if that particular number it is getting completely divided by 0 or not. If it is getting completely divided by 0, I would like to increment the count by 1. Clear? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, if I wanted to increment the count by 1, I want even the previous count also and now the present count also. That is why I'm using count is initially 0, but I'm incrementing the count. After incrementing the count, I am storing it into the new way. I'm storing it into the variable. If I'm writing count plus 1 is equal to count, that means the old value also will be there and the new value also will be there. Clear? Yes, no?
Yes, sir.
Now I need to write one statement. If count equal to 2, I'm going to write one statement. If count is equal to 2, if there are only 2 factors, then I would write a statement saying that the number is prime. What I like to say?
It's prime.
The number is prime. And the next thing what I like to say here is else if there are more than 2 factors, I will directly like to say that the number is not prime. The number is not prime. Clear?
Clear, sir.
So I'm just checking, and this is a core logic. From 1 to 19, I am checking whether the divider is equal to 0 or not. If the divider is equal to 0, that means it is completely divided. Then there is a factor. Increment the factor by counting 1. So the count will be increased. If the count is getting increased, if the count value is only 2, then it is a prime number. If the count is not greater than 2 or any other number, then it is not a prime number. Clear?
Yes.
Yes.
Without this knowledge, without these things, can you understand the code directly?
No, sir. No.
No.
So when I'm going to teach you, see, even if you are not able to solve this program completely, if you are able to explain this logic to the interviewer, and with the partially, even if your code is leading to wrong, that is fine. Nobody is looking for a complete code in the industry. Nobody is looking for a error-free code in the industry. But you should be in a position to explain the problem statement and try to implement it at least half and half. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Now when I'm
Clear,
running the code, it will ask me enter the number. Let me write the number. 19. So what really happens is this 19 is coming here. 19 is greater than 1. Yes, from 19 to 19 number, it is trying to check whether there is factors or not. There is no factor. Directly it will write the number. The number is prime. Again and again. Okay, 19 and then press enter. The number is prime. Clear? Do you want to see in real time how is it working? Can I press a breakpoint and debug and show how it is working?
Sure, sir.
Yes.
Okay.
Sir, what if we give a number is 0?
It will not work because I'm telling clearly if the number is greater than 1 only implement this one. Otherwise it will not work.
Sir, can we have another else class after that?
Yes, I need to write another else class after this one saying that this is not a. Otherwise, I can write it else here, and I can write it print statement. Enter the number. Enter the number greater than 1.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So if I'm writing 0. Enter the number greater than 1, it will give. Is Python very difficult or is it simple and neat to understand?
Simple.
Is it having too many curly braces, something like that, or is it easy?
It's very easy.
Okay, now I will show you line by line execution how it is working. Okay, so here let me place something called as breakpoint. Even you can try it. So what you need to do here is go and click on any of the line where you want to place the breakpoint. Okay, I'm going to place the breakpoint here. That means line by line, I'm going to execute and show what is happening. Debug prime program numbers I'm writing. Now it is asking me to enter the number. I am writing the number here 19. What am I writing?
19.
I press enter. Okay, now when I press enter, could you see here number is 19, count is 0, and we are stuck here. Okay, the execution stops from here. Now when I click on step over, could you see that I value initially is becoming what?
1.
1. So you need to check. I'm going to the next line. So when I'm going to the next line, 19 divided by 1. 19 is num value is 19. I value is 1. So 19 remainder of 1 is 1 only. Because 19 by 1 completely we have the remainder. Count is incrementing to 1. So when I click here, count is increased to 1 here.
Yeah.
Okay, next time when I'm doing a debug, I is getting 2 and same number 19. So 19 remainder of 2 is it getting completely divided or not? It will not get completely divided. Could you see here? It failed. It went back to the same level. Again, I'm doing a 3. It is checking whether 19 is completely getting divided by 3 or not. It will not happen. Again, it will go back to the same state here. Again, it will check I is getting incremented to 4. Again, it is checking 19 is getting completely divided by 4 or not. It will go back because it is not getting completely divided. Like that, it will keep happening for 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15 we are, 16 we are, 17 it will go, 18 it will go, and 18 it will go, and 19 it will go, 19 it will go, 19 it is going. Now it will check 19 getting divided by 19. This is also 19, this is also 19. Num divided by I is 19 by 19 equal to 0. It will increments the count. That means when it is incrementing the count is equal to 2. I am asking if count is equal to 2, the number is prime. The number is prime. It is checking count is equal to 2 or not. It is checking. Now it will execute this line. It will print that and it will terminate your program. Clear?
Clear.
Yes, yes.
Have anybody taught you programming like this?
No, no way.
No.
No, sir.